it's Halloween, my broskies, and I bloody hate horror games. Not the atmospheric dark one, but the jump scare walking simulator one. I jump scare easy as hell, and I don't enjoy bursting from my chair. I like to sit down in it. But I'm not here today to talk about Halloween, nor jump scares. I'm here to talk about Painted in Blood and why it's one of the best iterations of boom shooting and horror without the cheap jump scares I have come across in probably forever. And my name is, as always, good old Papa Slim, and I'm here to hunt down the best and most brutal games out there so you don't have to do the hunting, but simply the enjoying. And if you find yourself liking this video, consider hitting that like and even smidging a little bit on that subscribe button. Now, let's dive into Painted in Blood, that released on the 23rd of October and is developed by Madcraft Studios and published by Perp Games. It's released into early access with its first chapter spanning across a handful of levels that are fairly long with tons of secrets, enemies, and a boss that wants nothing but you to blast them into oblivion. It will take you roughly 4 hours with semi-exploration to finish it. But me, however, I actually played it twice, and I'm racking up 11 hours on the game now. One could say I thoroughly enjoyed this experience, but it's not without its flaws. The story is fully voice acted by our beloved Gianni, and as always, he does an excellent job voicing the characters as we step into the haunting realm of an artist's twisted palette of nightmares as we discover ourselves and getting to know what weird and twisted things happened in the life and mind of our lovely artist, leading up to the point where we are finding ourselves in right now. It's very dramatic, very haunting, and definitely written for a more mature audience. There is an option to turn off all the story elements if you only want to explore and boom shoot, but personally, I got a lot more immersed into the game and the levels by reading the letters and listening to Gianni himself. So if you ask me, I would recommend leaving the story elements on and actually invest time into them.
The war's finally over. I've rehearsed this moment in my head for 3 years.
Now, the actual gameplay of Painted in Blood will feel quite familiar to any boom shooting fan out there, but at the same time it differentiates itself quite a lot. Let me explain. Weapon-wise, I have to say, unfortunately, we only get one more weapon in the entire chapter compared to what we get in the first 2 levels that was in the closed demo. Meaning, we get a pistol, a shotgun, assault rifle, and a blade saw. Each of the weapons, they have alternative fires that makes them more suited for different scenarios than others. The gun, for an example, can fire 3 shots at once with high precision. The shotgun, it can blast out even more pellets, dealing more damage, but in a much wider spread. The assault rifle can fire mini grenades at the cost of extra ammo. And the blade saw? It can fire the saw blades, chopping through multiple enemies at once, and you can even charge it up by killing enemies prior to firing it. Now, I really like firing with the weapons. They sound great and the enemy feedback is super, but I do feel like the weapons are lacking some form of otherworldly animations to make them pop a little extra, make them have a little smoother firing animations, maybe even weapon swap animations. Have some moving parts on them. It would fit super well into the surreal theme of the game, and it would make them look less static than they are looking right now. It looks too much like a pasted picture into an otherwise super detailed and nice looking world with blends of old school and modern technology. Now, enemy-wise, we get a few cool ones and a few less cool ones. The cool ones are the elite enemies. They come in all sizes and forms and often require you to either use your flashlight super flash to blind them, hit one of their weak spots that often occur right before an attack to stun them or insta-kill them, or use one of the 3 abilities that we get in the game. I really have no complaints on the enemies as they are now, as I really like how they require you to use different tactics to each and every one of them, but not in a way where it gets frustrating or overly hard, just in a way that makes the flow of the combat have more depth than simply pointing and shooting, forcing you to move around, swap weapons, use the abilities that the game gives you and so on, abilities that I usually tend to forget in other games. Now, the less cool enemies, however, are more of a personal preference actually, but they are swarms of rats and flowers that fires at you. The flowers, they can be super tedious and hard to spot sometimes, as there are very similar flowers scattered around that does not harm you. And I mean, at least make them different colored and maybe the ones attacking you a bit more brutal looking than they are now, just to differentiate them from the other flowers. And then the rats, well, then they have an awful hit detection. It's simply just awful. Make the hitboxes much larger on them. I know the game wants you to use the flashlight ability to fire the rats, where you can kill multiple of them in one flash. But when there is just 1 or 2 rats left, you don't want to waste that. So instead, you go and waste 10 pistol shots just trying to hit one of them. And that's not nice. Now, level design wise, it's, in my opinion, absolutely fantastic. We have plenty of secrets, some of which require a little bit of puzzling to actually unlock. We have platforming, we have save stations, so you cannot save scum in this, which I think is the right move in a horror-themed game, because it amps up the horror just a little bit more. We have great pacing when it comes to storytelling, environmental storytelling, just exploring in dark, eerie places, and then bam, getting locked into an arena, having to fight off hordes of enemies. The pacing is just great, and that's what made me really enjoy this experience and made me want to play it twice instead of just once. If it was simply getting locked into arenas, you do usually get tired of it at some point in the game. But this, it has such a nice flow to it where it mixes horror elements, things you can go insane and you start seeing things and things start flying like a poltergeist is controlling plates on a table and then it will fire it at you. And then all of a sudden you turn around and you have 3 enemies. You might have a ghost to your left. The pacing and the unknowing is excellent in this game, and I really hope that it can keep that up in the next 2 chapters that are coming. And presentation-wise, well, no surprise here. I totally love this blend of modern meets old school. I love this blend of pixelated sprites with super modern lighting and particles flying everywhere. It's just it's such a nice treat for the eyes, not just the eye, the eyes. And this game does it so incredibly well. It has highly detailed environments, using a blend of 3D objects and sprites. It has gorgeous lighting throughout, and I did have a huge complaint in the demo where I felt like the flashlight would give you kind of a motion sickness because it was such a centered small little dot of light. It seems like that's been fixed, like it illuminates a little bit on the sides as well, so you don't get that motion sickness feeling anymore. And the audio, of course, goes along with that. It's slow, it's dark, it's immersive, it's piano-like music. It's really good, it's really good. But just as with the weapons that look a bit static, I feel like the enemies do as well. When the enemies are moving, as an example, they don't have enough animations to their legs, so it actually looks like they are moving in a smooth way. It looks very static and like they're almost flying towards you. And usually I wouldn't complain on things like this, neither on the weapons nor on the enemies, but the rest of the world is so highly detailed, and you have like cloth just swaying in the wind smoothly and nicely, and then not having that consistency throughout makes it hurt the presentation a bit. So I would work on the weapon animations and the enemy animations some more. Other than that, it's freaking perfect, the presentation. And that, my broskis, concludes this video. I think the Painted in Blood is more than worth the 10 buckaroonies that it's asking for right now. It does things that we don't see in all boom shoots, and it does it really freaking well. And I would not have played this game twice if I didn't thoroughly enjoy the experience. So yeah, if you're looking for a good boom shoot and horror Halloween game, Painted in Blood is sure to deliver. And do remember, even though it is scary month, Papa Slim, he still freaking loves ya. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end on this video. You are bloody amazing. And I will see you either in the Discord, link down in the description, or in the next video. Papa Slim, over and out.